oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, alákọ̀wé gbogbo ẹni tó ń wáṣẹ́, ọmọlé ìwé o, òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣì bá òwúrọ̀ o, òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣì bá òwúrọ̀ o. Let's go, my beautiful sister. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣì bá òwúrọ̀. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣì bá some work to do. Good morning, I greet you. How was your night? Good morning, I greet you. It will be a beautiful day. If you do your work with honesty and pride, you will find your dreams coming true very soon. Said if we could be patient and live within the law, there will be much progress. Everyone will be happy. Good morning, I greet you. How do you do? Good morning, I greet you. We got some work to do. Good morning, I greet you. Hours and night. Good morning, I greet you. It will be a beautiful ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ara mi ẹ̀gbéra nílẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ti yá. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi ẹ̀gbọ́nra jìgì ká tún ra mú oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́. Alákọ̀wé gbogbo ẹni tó ń wáṣẹ́, ọmọlé ìwé o, òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣì máa òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, ẹ má jẹ́ àṣìbà òwúrọ̀. Let's go, beautiful people. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣìbà òwúrọ̀. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣìbà òwúrọ̀. One more time. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣìbà òwúrọ̀. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa rírì o, ẹni máa rírì o, wọ́n á ṣìbà òwúrọ̀.
Good morning. Good morning to everybody listening to us. Good morning to Nigerian community. This is the voice of the Pedagogues Educational Research Institute and Learning Facilitating Firm. And this morning we'll be directing our teaching to the Nigerian students most especially in the primary school, secondary school, and everybody who wants to have a proper mastery of the writing skill, because writing skill is very much important in our society. At any point in time, we have to write, and so many people do not know the modus operandi and the strategic formula for writing. Writing is very, very much important, and in terminal examinations, there are requirements for writing. For example, in the basic secondary examination, known as BECE, students are to write 250 words, while at the senior secondary school, students are to write 450 words. In other words, it is very much important for students to have a proper mastery of the technical formulas required for writing. Alright, having said that, going by writing is a productive skill, so it has to be, somebody who will be a good writer has to have read a lot of materials, a lot of things, so that he will be able to have proper understanding of how to go about it. In other words, I will start with the technical formulas for writing. Every writing composition needs to have content, and by content it means the relevance of what you are writing to the topic. That is, you must not derail. What does the question say? If the question says write on the things you dislike about your father's house, or the things you dislike about your school, you must not go ahead to start writing what you like about your school. You must not misinterpret the question. When you misinterpret the question, your content will be marked over 6 instead of over 12. Then organization. It is very much important for you to write according to the features of each essay. The features of each essay, that is the characteristics of each essay. When you are talking about the informal letter, you are supposed to start with the writer's address. Having written the writer's address, then you write the dates under the writer's address. Then you write the salutation, which is dear plus name of your friend, dear plus name of your uncle, etc. Then you write the introduction. Introduction of an informal letter will comprise of greeting, asking about the condition, purpose of the letter. These are the components of the introduction of an informal letter. Having written that, then you develop your ideas paragraph by paragraph using the cohesive devices. Then after that, you write the conclusion. The conclusion of an informal letter should involve expressing best regards and expectation of reply. Then you emphasize, you reiterate your points, you give a recap of your point. That is how to write the conclusion of an informal letter. Then expression. Under expression, the examiner wants to check your spellings, your use of language. Under the use of language, we'll be talking about your expression, your vocabulary, your idiom, your tenses, your concord. So all these things will earn you very good mark when you express yourself maturely. Then mechanical accuracy has to do with the number of errors you commit. By the time you make some silly mistakes in your essay and it is up to 20, that very writer or that very student will score 0 over 20 in the mechanical accuracy. Now let's go to formal letter. When we talk about the formal letter, it is a letter known as the official letter. The official letter, and of course, you write the introduction, you write the writer's address. Having written the writer's address, you write the date. After the date, you write the receiver's address. After the receiver's address, you write the salutation. After the salutation, that salutation can be dear sir, or if you are sure of the gender of the person you are writing to, dear ma. Alright, having said that, then you write the title of the letter which you get from the question that you are given. Having done that, then you write the introduction. After the introduction, there is nothing like greeting, there is nothing like chatting, there is nothing like asking about the condition. You go straight to the point since it's a formal letter. Having written that, then you go to stating the purpose of writing the letter. Still in the introductory paragraph, you explain the reason. Then having written that, you develop your ideas paragraph by paragraph, paragraph by paragraph. And paragraph can start with cohesive devices. Your essay must be logical. It must be logical, it must be connected, it must be united. Your ideas must flow. It must be connected. Your ideas must not be illogical. It must be thematically sequential. It must not be disjointed. So, and it must be logical. That is, you have to write from the simple to the complex. That is, you have to make sure it is readable and engaging. So, paragraph can begin with cohesive devices such as firstly, secondly, in addition, comma, furthermore, moreover, more so, and many others. Then when you want to write something contrary, you want to indicate contrast, you can say on the contrary, comma, or you can say by and large, comma, you can say however, comma. That is, you have been talking about something positive, and you want to introduce something negative, you can say however, you can say nevertheless, you can say nonetheless. You use it to indicate the contrast, and this is peculiar to any essay, not only the formal letter. Then when you talk about the argumentative essay, is a type of essay where you either speak for or you speak against a given motion, you speak for or you speak against. And argumentative essay, as we call it essay, it has to be written. When you write it down, then it is very much important for you to start with the vocatives. The vocatives is good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, co-debaters, panel of incorruptible judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students. Standing before you, you mention your name, representing what class or which class, then you state the topics. I'm supporting or are you opposing? If you are supporting, you don't oppose. If you are opposing, you don't support. Supporting the motion which states that civil rule is better than military rule, that male child is better than female child, that city life is better than rural, living in the rural, that our forefathers are happier than we are, that moral laxity among home is the home and not the school, among students is the home and not the school to be blamed. Then in the introductory paragraph you have to explain the key terms. What is civil rule? Civil rule, according to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is defined as the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And what is the military rule? You have to explain. So it is very much important for you to explain the key term. What is village? And what is a city? What is private school? What is public school? What is boarding? What is boarding school? What is day school? You have to let us know in the introductory paragraph. And having done that, it is expected of you to tell your audience that you have a number of reasons to support your argument. Then the language of argumentative essay is convincing. It has to be convincing. The language of an argumentative essay has to be persuasive. Persuasive. It has to be persuasive. So you must not be too assertive. You must create your point in a logical way, in such a way that your audience will be able to reason along with you. Then another very technical skill of writing argumentative essays is the use of rhetorical question. Rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are the questions you ask your audience for them to fill in the gap and for them to reason along with you. Who among you is not a product of a woman's womb? So you can tell me that a woman is better than a man because it's a woman that gives birth to every male, every child, every person that is here present. So you throw some rhetorical questions to make them reason along with you. Then another way to write an argumentative essay is the use of the rebutter, that is contract claims. When you see the loophole of your audience, I heard my learned opponent say, then you try to contrast what the person has said. That's another skill. Then at the conclusion, an argumentative essay, it is important for you to give a recapitulation or reiteration of your point, emphasis on your point, summary of your point, then you say, with these cogent reasons of mine, I believe I've been able to convince you and not confuse you living in the rural centers. So that is how to go about a typical argumentative essay. Then when you talk about article writing, article has to do with talking about a particular germane issue in the society, a society that catches the attention of everybody, maybe dangers of premarital sex, maybe unemployment among youths, maybe removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria and effect on citizens, maybe encouragement, diversification of economy as a gateway to economic advancement in Nigeria. So these are topical issues that caught the attention of the public. And so if you are to write that, you don't start with the address. What you start with is the title. Start with the title. And when you write your title, then you write the introduction. Then you write the body points. Then you write the conclusion. You write the introduction, you write the body, and you write the conclusion. The body should be developed in paragraph. And it is important for us to know how to develop a paragraph. When you talk about paragraph, it is an indentation, and of course, many students don't know how to write paragraph. They will just write one sentence and they will say that is a paragraph. Most especially in the junior secondary school, many of our children cannot write up to 250 words, which is the requirement. And even in the senior school, by the time they write a page, they are not able to write again. Why are they not being able to write? It's because they have not been adequately trained on how to develop a paragraph. A paragraph must consist of a point, and that point has to be introduced by what we call the key information and what we call the topic sentence. Then the topic sentence now has supportive sentences that you use to develop the paragraph. Now it is very much important for our teachers to teach children of school-going age phrases, to teach them clauses, to teach them sentences before they start teaching them essay writing, because they are going to use these topics to create and to write sentences. Many of them do not know how to write simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, compound complex sentences. It will go a long way to help them to explain themselves when they are given certain topics, or when they are given certain things to write. It is very much important for students to be taught how to develop paragraph. When you give a point, write a letter to your friend telling him reasons why he has to seek transfer to your school. My school has good teachers. Then it's not only that statement. Then you are now going to tell us how the teachers are good, how they are teaching you very well, how the impact of the teachers in your school and the impact of the teachers in the academic of the children, and how they have used their skills, teaching skills, to elevate the students in terminal examination. That is their professional and personal qualities as teachers. That is how you develop that paragraph. My school has standard learning facilities. How the library, the laboratory, the classroom is very conducive. To what effect has it affected the students positively in their academics? That is how you develop that paragraph. So it is important for you to know how to develop a paragraph. A paragraph can span as much as 7 lines, 8 lines, not just one word, not just one line like we usually have. We by the special grace of God, we are very close to students, and we are trying to bring their problems, the fundamental and elementary educational problems, we trash them here for the general good of the public. And that is what the pedagogues is set to do in the Nigerian community. So we hope that we are trying to encourage academic activities in the most significant way across the length and breadth of Nigeria and the across the length and breadth of Federal Republic of Nigeria and Sahara Africa. Now, I would like to also talk about speech writing. This is another very important topic that is usually set by the terminal examination. Speech delivery, in most cases, is spoken, but the examiner might require you to write it down. So every essay with its own template. When you don't write according to how a particular essay is written, then you will have shot yourself in the leg. Now, the speech writing, write a speech to be delivered by, as a senior prefect, outgoing senior prefect, write a speech to be delivered on your first, on your inauguration speech. Alright, so a speech to be delivered by, then your name, the senior prefect of your school, you mention the school, today, you mention the date, the venue of the speech, and the time. So, and preferably, I will just say you should write your title in capital letter. Then you have to acknowledge, having written down, you have to acknowledge those that are present in the podium of the speech. So you have to mention them. Okay, the chairman, the principal, the HOD, the teaching staff, the non-teaching staff, my fellow students. I am delighted. Then, in writing a speech, you have to reflect on the problems on ground. You have to reflect on what you will do. You have to reflect on how you solicit for cooperation. You have to reflect on how your activities will encourage what you are trying to write. So to write a speech, it is required of you to have read very well and to be well exposed. And even writing generally, for somebody to be able to write effectively, he has to be exposed. So that's why our students need to be well exposed. Most especially, they have to have textbooks that are relevant. They are English textbook, and in the senior secondary school, they need to have YX series. In the junior secondary school, they need to have books on essays and compositions and workbook. All these things go a long way because they have to write, and when they write, their teachers should help them to go through it and make necessary corrections. Then another very important thing that teachers have to do is to increase the word power and the linguistic arsenal of the students by giving them dictation, by giving them meaning of words, the dictionary meaning of words, very much important. Introduction, they have to be introduced to reading a lot of novels and play. This will equip them. Many of them cannot write. It's a sorry case. By the time they get to the university, they will be looking for somebody to write their thesis and their long essay for them. It's a sorry case. So we have to cope with this problem. It's a problem that is tractable. It is a problem that can be solved, and we only need to take some proactive steps as teachers, as parents, as the child in question, and as educational policy makers. Yes, very, very much important. So, then when we want to end your speech, you end it with soliciting for their support. Then words like long live goes a long way to end your speech very well. So, now I would like to talk about narrative essay. Narrative essay. So what I would just like to say about narrative essay is it could be a real essay or it could be imaginary, but in most cases you have to just talk about something that is credible, logical and believable. And it is very also much important for you not to write a narrative essay if you do not understand a particular saying. For example, uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. If you don't know the meaning of that saying, it's better you don't write that very essay. Then it is very important for you to know that the language of narrative essay is in the past tense. Past tense. The narrative essay, you have to reflect on events. Events. You have to give a vivid description. You have to give a vivid description of events, of occurrences, of what has happened. Then you must be creative. Every narrative essay writer needs to be creative. You have to be creative. Then you must not write stories that revolve around the fables, tales, and many others like that. The examiner will not like it. Then every narrative essay, we have what we call the beginning. When you have the introduction, you have the climax, and you have the resolution. You have the resolution, that is what you are able to resolve at the end of the narrative essay. Is very much important. Then at the end of the essay, you end it with the saying, "I thought had I known, I would not have followed him. At the end of the day, I realized that it pays to be disciplined." So that is how to write a narrative essay rather. So it is important for children of school going age at the WAEC, senior secondary and NECO examination to know that they are to write 450 words. It's not just about writing, it is about planning your essay to write what is required of you by the examiner. And another type of essay is the descriptive essay. Yes, it is very much important for children to be exposed to this type of essay, because these essays at times they are interwoven, they dovetail into one another. At times you use some indices of descriptive in narrative. At times you describe again in some expository. So by writing a descriptive essay, you are writing what you see. Okay, you want to write about my school, you want to write about my best teacher, you want to write about my best friend, you want to write about or anything that has to do with description. You have to reflect. You must be able to give a vivid description. Description. So much so that the person you are describing to, it will appear as if that very person is there when you were actually writing the essay. You must be able to thrive on emotion. You must be able to thrive on the emotion of the reader. So it is very much important for you to say what you see. Okay, you want to describe about my father or my mother. It is strictly information giving. It is strictly information giving. That is, you have to harness different information. Starting, and it has to be logical. It has to be logical. It has to be logical. Your ideas must flow. It must be thematically sequential. That is what you have to write at the beginning. Maybe you want to write about my best friend. You start with the name. You start with the physical description. You talk about the attitude of your friend. You talk about what your friend likes doing. You talk about different information about your friend. His complexion, his hobby, the reasons why you like your friend, and many of the information that you want to give about your friend. Very much important. Now, if you want to talk about your best teacher, you talk about the name, you talk about the complexion, you talk about the physical qualities, the physical attributes of your teacher, you talk about the professional attributes of your teacher, you talk about the reasons why you like your teacher, how your teacher teaches you, what distinguishes your teacher from every other teacher. Maybe you want to talk about your school, a narrative essay, a descriptive essay about my school. You write my school. Then you talk about the location, the name of the school, the appearance of the school, the color of the school uniform, the teachers in the school, what you can see in the school, the reasons why you love your school, and many other information. Essay writing is usually reflective, and at times you harness information that you get from the society or the information of things that really happen to you directly. You harness everything to write. So it is not something to be shabbily done. It is something to be creatively done. It is something to be painstakingly done, and you have to concentrate when you write your essay. Then when we talk about expository essay on the very last note, expository essay is giving information about how something is done. We are explaining the processes involved in doing a particular thing. That is when you talk about expository essay. Okay, you want to write about my favorite dish. You want to write about my best game. That is an expository essay, and of which you have to be able to reflect on different information, the class of food that your favorite dish belong, the ingredients, the function to the body, how it is prepared, the reason why you like it, how you feel whenever you eat it, and several other information that is peculiar to your favorite dish will be very much necessary for you to give. Then narrative essay, descriptive essay, expository essay, you just start with the title. And when you write the title, you write introduction, you write the body, and you write the conclusion. Then this is one thing, there are some very important things that students need to do generally when they are writing an essay. For you to write a very good essay, you must be able to write an outline for your essay before you even put pen to paper. Write an outline. What do I want to do in the introductory paragraph? What do I want to do in the body? What do I want to do in the conclusion? Don't rush. Don't rush. Take your time to think for maybe 5 minutes about what you want to write. Then it is very much important that having finished writing everything you want to write, it is important for you to proofread what you have read, what you have written. Proofread it. Go over it again. Check the spelling errors. Check the concord. Check the tenses. Check the use of punctuation marks. Very, very much important. Check whether you agree with the features of the essay or not. For instance, you are supposed to write yours sincerely as the complimentary close of an informal letter and nothing else. Some students will write yours faithfully, they will go ahead to sign. When they are writing informal letter, that is very wrong. So you must abide by the rules whenever you want to write. When you write formal letter, you write yours faithfully. Capital Y, no apostrophe at the yours. Then faithfully, small f, follow with a comma. After that, then you append your signature. After the signing, then you write your full name. So it is very much important for you to go through good textbooks, to listen to your teachers adequately, to read as many good essays as possible, and to read extensively, to listen to good speakers of the language, if you will be able to write good essays. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for sharing our videos. So thank you. We appreciate you. God bless you till we meet again.